Hey, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy John Mango, and I'm back again representing Beyond the Iron, where I drop weekly fitness content on this channel to help you get to your goals faster and more enjoyably. So if you're interested in doing so, consider subscribing. Now in today's video, this is a light right here. I should probably move that. Nah, screw it. Anyway, in today's video, very informal. I just want to talk about my opinions and my plans on competing. The reason why is because I've been getting asked this question for several years, which probably right there and then gives you an idea as to the direction this video is moving in. But very much as of recently, you know, ever since starting my YouTube channel and my Instagram, really starting to post my physique every now and then on these channels, I keep getting asked the question, so, you know, when are you going to compete? Or a lot of people, and I'll be honest, a lot of competitors always come to me and say, you need to compete, you should compete, etc., etc. So I'm just going to briefly talk about, you know, what I think about competing and the reason I haven't competed yet. And also, I don't see myself competing in the foreseeable future. And I don't have a plan to compete. And, you know, I've been known all my life to transform my body. I was always cutting, bulking. I always transform year after year. I'm never staying the same. I'm always making progress, right? And naturally, people see me cutting and they see that when I cut, I'm extremely strict most of the time. And, you know, I go through some pretty extreme measures because I say, no, sorry, I'm cutting. And people don't often understand why I'm cutting, right? So a lot of people think, well, why do you put yourself through that torture, right? Like, are you competing? Why don't you compete when you get that lean, etc.? And the reason I do it is because, you know, when I started working out, it was never for a fitness competition. It was never to look good when I started. Yeah, I was hoping that someday I would look good, but when I started, it was really just for performance. I was getting my ass kicked in football, kicked and, you know, basically just mangled in every which way when it came to football. And I decided, you know what, I gotta start lifting so I can actually match up or even be on the same playing field as these guys. Anyways, one thing led to another. I'm not gonna make it a whole story. And over time, fitness, I went through stages, right? I went through a stage where I really did think about competing, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna bulk up like crazy. I did the dirty bulks. I'll put on a ton of muscle, and, you know, maybe I will compete. I think maybe I will compete. You know, people always asking me back in the day, and I evolved out of that phase and I realized, do I really want to compete? You know, I've been around so many people in this industry. I've been in the industry for a while and I've literally been side by side with so many people that have competed and watched them from beginning to end throughout the prep. And not even being with them in those, you know, those dark times at home, but seeing their entire personalities change, their mood change, their quality of life suffer significantly. And it just became clear to me time and time again how pointless it was for me. You know, I personally, for where I am in my life, I do find it very pointless to compete, because now what I do with my fitness is, yes, I'm trying to achieve the best body I possibly can, but I'm trying to stay as healthy as possible. I don't want to just look amazing. I want to perform and I want to be and feel amazing every single day. So competing will actually do the opposite. Now, of course, there's always the argument, especially for somebody like myself, that is like, well, you know, there's also that benefit of seeing how far you can push yourself, you know, just test it just for the experience. And again, like I said, I've seen this experience. I haven't experienced it firsthand, but I don't want to, because to me, competing in fitness is not exactly what fitness is about. Because actually, when you step on that stage, as we've seen with a lot of pros, I know that they're on stuff and whatnot, but even natural competitors, they can suffer consequences from these fitness competitions for years after they've even competed. There are so many men that have to go on testosterone replacement therapy because they dieted down to a body fat level that was so unhealthy and so detrimental, so stressful to their bodies, that it's like, what's even the point? So I can step on a stage and experience it one time. To me, it makes no sense. And the main reason why now I see myself not competing is because Two things. One, I push myself each and every single day in that gym. I'm blasting it, and I do it for myself, right? So, and I'm not saying other competitors, this is not to put any competitors down whatsoever. I think it's great. They want to compete, be my guest. But for myself, here is the main thing. I've become obsessed with business and success and trying to create things. My YouTube channel, I am much more obsessed with bringing you content that's going to help you, as opposed to taking away from my content, likely taking away from my business, taking away from my relationships, taking away from my family, to put it all into a fitness competition. Because let's be honest, I do everything full force. And if I'm gonna do a competition, just like most of you out there, you're gonna go full force, and it's gonna take away a lot from other things, because you can't have a lot of things going on at once and do as good as possible in your fitness competition. So to me, it's like, well, if I'm not gonna go all in, I'm not gonna go. I'm going all in what I want to go all in at. So in that case, again, business, success. I just want success. I want to build. I want to produce content. I want to help people around the world. That's my obsession. And to me, competing in a fitness competition is not aligned with that obsession and my purpose in doing that. So that's basically it, simply put. I mean, yeah, sure, it'd be cool to get, 4% body fat, but to be honest, I'm still improving regardless. Day in and day out, I am striving for achieving the best body I possibly can. But I want to maintain a very low body fat percentage, but a healthy low body fat, right? So one that's sustainable without, suffering a poor quality of life and detracting from, or retracting, whatever, from other areas of my life that I want to focus on. I use fitness as a tool. Fitness is here to enhance my life. And anytime something starts taking away from my life, I stop enjoying it and I don't see the point of doing it, right? So that is my take on why I don't compete. Again, I think that others competing is great. If that's what they want to do, listen, if that's what I wanted to do, again, I'm going to go full out on it, and I would do it. It's just not my priority. It's not my purpose. It's not what I want to give my all to. So for all of you out there that do want to do that, and you do want to compete, and you want to put everything into it, I think that's awesome. And if it makes you feel great, and if it makes you feel fulfilled and aligns with what you're trying to do in your life, then by all means, I think it's a great thing, and I think that you should compete. So that's basically that. I mean, I think a lot of people don't understand that there are a lot of cons with competing. Of course, there's a lot of pros, the mental discipline and all that, but you must understand both sides of the coin before you make a decision and see, is this really worth my effort, time, and the potential downside, right? So just make sure that you educate yourself on that. Again, what I would do is I would try to be around or watch people competing, watch what happens to them, watch if they change, watch what they go through, and really try to put yourself in that position before you just decide, well, everybody else is competing, so I want to compete. Because I know a lot of people that start up new, they want to do that. So just make sure that you really do some digging, really look into it before you just go into it thinking it's going to be all a great time and you're going to look amazing and you're going to get all the girls or all the guys. That's never the case, right? So just make sure that you make an evaluated, precise decision as to if it doesn't align with what you're trying to do in your life, because it is something to be taken seriously for sure. So that's my thoughts on competing. And for all of you asking the question or telling me you should compete, are you going to compete, what are the plans, you should do this, what about this, there's your answer. My obsession is not with competing, it is with something else. So I don't see the point in doing it right now. I'm not going to say never. Maybe someday down the line it falls into alignment with what I want to do in that particular moment in time. So that's all I wanted to say for this video. I know it was a little longer than expected, but thank you so much for watching. If you watched until this point, you're the real MVP. And let me know down in the comments below, do you compete? Do you have thoughts of competing? And if so, I want to know why. I'm interested to know what my subscribers are doing, thinking. I appreciate all of you. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you in that next video. If you haven't yet, like the video, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next fitness related video. That's it. Thanks again. I'm out.